Can you hear anything?
All right, we are live.
Can you hear my background?
No,
Not really.
So.
Okay, good.
I do hear somebody talking in the background there.
You don't.
I wish I had some lemon for my water.
Where is this at?
It's always like you should have some lemon or lime juice.
I usually do, but
There we go.
yeah.
Welcome to the lab. Welcome to the lab.
All right. Look at who you came to see. We the what you better. All right, we can go ahead and get started. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Lab Podcast with four friends. My name is Aaron.
I'm Camille.
I'm Matt.
And I am melanated.
First, I was like, I didn't know that's how you spell that, but I guess it is. How's everybody week been?
It's not a real word.
Pretty good. Can't complain.
I thought it was.
Yeah, it's good. I can't complain. I'm doing good. Chilling.
I've done some major things. I'll tell y'all afterwards, but I've done some things. I'm not regretting not a little bit of it.
All right.
Oh,
I went
man.
swimming for the first time this week.
You went where?
What?
You went
Where'd you
swimming,
say
you
you go?
said?
Swimming.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
Just a friend's,
it
just
cut
a
off
friend's
a little.
pool. Nowhere special. Just a friend's pool. But I ain't been in water all summer, and I missed it.
Yeah.
But you know what that shows? Black people can swim. Fight the stereotype, Aaron. That's right.
I mean, I'm a great swimmer, but I also have plenty of friends who will drown in water. So
I was a lifeguard. So that stereotype always irritates me, especially because not only can I swim, I can also save you if you can't swim. Thank you very much.
I can't swim, so there's that.
Well, technically my certifications are expired, so I'm not in a lifeguard anymore, but hey.
Well, I like to say that
if I had to, maybe.
I like to say that fat floats, and I got plenty of it, so I've got myself some flotation devices, but I do know how to swim competently. So yeah. I
learned how to swim at a very young age. I went to summer camp at the YMCA. Yeah. So yeah.
I went to white people camp, so that's where they taught me. Tall Pines Day Camp. How y'all doing?
I know where that is.
You guys didn't have swimming class in gym?
I did have swimming class in gym. When I was in public school, I had swimming class.
Yes.
In
gym. You took us to Valley High, right?
No, I went to the Y.
I went to the Y.
Before college, I never went to a school with a pool. So
well, my school didn't have it. I just went. My elementary school and middle school took us to the YMCA to teach.
My elementary school gym class.
They weren't doing all that.
To the Y.
Yeah.
And had intramural swimming type classes.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't learn anything.
Oh.
I used to sit on the shallow end and, watch all the other kids. Not all, but a lot of the other kids on the deep end swimming and having a good time. And I was like,
did that affect your grade if you weren't participating?
It didn't actually. It's because I participated. That's all that matters.
Exactly. She said she was in the pool, splashing around.
Right.
She was sitting down, not doing nothing.
Hey, that works.
I had a white lifeguard. She was white. She taught me how to float.
I had a white lifeguard and she was white. I think we got that far.
And we were in very personal, close contact with each other. If you get what I'm saying.
Oh my god!
I don't.
You were like
to our first topic.
Weird. You were like the kid from The Sandlot.
See, Matt's leading into weirdness. Darnell made it weird. I was trying to skirt past it. Matt wanted to lead into it. But our first hot topic, we just want to take a moment to recognize the lives of John Lewis and Reverend C.T. Vivi. I always pronounce his name.
Vivian.
Vivian. Two very dope people, very influential in the civil rights movement, and continue to be influential throughout pretty much their whole lives in terms of social justice and social inequality. I didn't know as much about the Reverend, but I followed John Lewis pretty closely throughout most of I guess I'll say the last couple of years of my life, when social justice kind of came more of a forefront of my personal life. John Lewis was that dude, always making some good trouble. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yep.
I just, again, it's that good trouble. We're here to engage our democracy, protest. We're here to challenge it, to make it better. And I saw a video of Reverend C.T. Vivian. Hey, Aunt Vicky. And he was challenging not the police, but he was challenging the people that were with the police. He was like, "Why are you doing this? You can do so much better, and don't be a part of on the wrong side of history." So I think that we have to memorialize these people who we stand on their shoulders, and we stand on the shoulders of giants, and hopefully honor their lives by continuing their fight.
Yeah, I was actually supposed to meet John Lewis once. I forget what year it was, but I was at a Sigma event with my dad. And John Lewis was supposed to be the keynote speaker, but for some reason he couldn't make it. So I didn't actually end up meeting him, but it would definitely been a great opportunity because I've learned about him a lot. Just like you, Aaron, in the past couple of years, the stuff he's done for social justice, for the community, everything like that. So it's an opportunity I feel like I missed out on, and been really cool, maybe get to speak with him for a little bit. But yeah, definitely lost two great people.
I've actually heard him speak before. I was at a graduation and he was the commencement speaker.
Gotcha. Any thoughts, Camille?
Nope.
Gotcha. Next hot topic. This one's a bit of a mixed bag. I'm really curious to see everybody's opinions on this one. So Kanye West is, I'll use the word, been trending. And just the internet world these last couple of weeks. He had his rally. That was in, I don't really remember what state it was in. But he had his rally. He was saying some
Carolina.
Yeah, I wanted to say it was
one of the Carolinas.
Wasn't 100% sure. I didn't want to be wrong.
Yeah, actually.
So he had his rally in one of the Carolinas. He said a lot of interesting things. He came into a lot of scrutiny and controversy, especially on on Black Twitter, because there was a moment when a white girl kind of called out and spoke, and I guess I'll say spoke out, during what he was saying, and he brought her on stage, gave her a hug, and kind of like empowered her for having the courage to speak up in that moment. But the Black girl kind of really literally the same thing, just spoke up and shared her opinion, and he basically, I'll say, chastised her, kind of sort of yelled at her, was like, "You're wearing a mask. We don't even know who you are." Mind you, everyone's supposed to have a mask on, but whatever. And then he went on this like crazy Twitter rant, like afterwards, saying all this crazy stuff about Kim. It was just a lot. It was really a lot. It was overwhelming for me personally. And I'll share my opinion on it, then we'll go around. But honestly, I don't know how to feel. Like I said, that's what I'm curious how everybody else is, because I feel like it's not to say mental health isn't a real thing, but I feel like Kanye's journey on his mental health has been used, and I'll say an opportunistic way at times. So sometimes you don't really know if he's having a real episode or is he trying to promote an album, because he went on that long rant during the rally. He said all this stuff. He almost killed his daughter. He said all that. He said his dad almost killed him, this, that, and the third. And then he goes to say like Kim and Chris are trying to lock him up on the way to with doctors, this, that, and the third. And then at the end of his rant, he says my album's dropping. So like sometimes, now granted that album did not drop, but in the moment everybody was looking at him. I was like, oh, he's going through all this craziness. Then I see, okay, this was for album promotion. So like for me personally, I might be a little jaded. I feel a little boy who cried wolf a little bit about him personally. I'm not saying mental health isn't a thing. I know it is a thing, and I know a lot of people struggle with it. And I'm not saying he's not necessarily struggling with it. I'm just saying it looks a little opportunistic to me, because this isn't the first time he might have had a episode and then album drop or Yeezy merch drop or shoes, or that's just my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I need for him, I want him to take this seriously because from the looks of it, it doesn't look like he's fully taking his condition seriously.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't, honestly, to me. Now I could be wrong, obviously, and that's great if I'm wrong, honestly, because I want him, I want to be wrong, to be honest. But like, I feel like if you see yourself kind of unfolding on social media and by your own words, and then in social media, just people like tabloids and all these other people talking about you, one would think that you would want to show people like show yourself in a better light. Like you could use your mental health as a platform if that's to say how serious it is. But I feel like instead he would rather just go on rants and random campaigns instead of using his platform for good, which is what he could. He could say, wow, like me, a celebrity who's bipolar, allegedly. I don't know if it's bipolar, if it's exact,
I think so.
thing. But he could use that and to show people like I've taken my medication or I'm doing this and that and that. You know what I mean? Like it's not to say that he can't relapse because people do, of course. But like I don't know. I just need him to instead of ranting on social media, go to rehab. That's
Definitely. Because ranting on social media and stuff like that has always been, well, at least in the past couple of years, Kanye's kind of like MO. I remember when he was touring, he used to like stop the show. Hold on. Shut.
Ooh.
I remember he used to stop the show just to like yell about something he didn't like or whatever was going on and anything like that. So this definitely isn't new for him. However, I feel like I'm not, just like Camille said, I'm not seeing any like real progression with it because I feel like this is the first time we've actually seen him like, oh, they're trying to keep me locked up. Like, I don't trust the Kardashians. I want a divorce. Kim won't let me out. And then actually in the past couple of days, we've seen pictures. It looks like him and Kim are like sitting in the car and she's crying. It looks like he's like yelling at her or something. So I'm definitely not seeing a lot of like progression or any real improvement with it. And I do think Kim did put out a statement. I didn't read the whole thing, but she has mentioned before that I think it is bipolar disorder that he has. And that his medication obviously affects him, and she can tell the difference and the effect that it has on their family when he's off his meds. So it definitely is a sad situation, especially since they're in the spotlight. So there's really no way that this could be handled privately, especially when he's ranting on social media. So yeah, I just think it's very sad.
Having watched the video with the young lady's name was Aisha Mars, who he confronted, the young black lady, and she's a student at HU. I'm not sure if it's Howard or Hampton, but they all both claim that they're HU. But it upset me because, especially right now in the dialogue that we're talking about protecting young black women, and I just feel like he's missing the mark. And I think that Black people got duped because we were thinking that Kanye changed because he went from the Kanye confronting the guy from TMZ and sitting in the White House with Donald Trump calling him his daddy, and then he turned into this Sunday Kanye, and we all started to like him again. But I don't think that Kanye ever went away. And one thing that we have to recognize is that I think that, and any person that knows a little bit about mental health knows that Kanye is in a maniac state. He can't really make good decisions for himself. It's not in his capability. He is in his own crazy world, and it's sad to see it because it's playing out on a national stage. I think that Candace Dillard from The Real Housewives of Potomac, she said it best, that Kim and the rest of the Kardashians and his family, they need to put him in guardianship, which is like Amanda Bynes or Britney Spears, where they kind of take control of an adult's life, because he's not going to be consistent with his medication. He is going to rant off and do crazy things. And because he's a celebrity, that becomes dangerous, because then he can target young girls like Aisha and call them out for no reason. He can say whatever he wants to say, and it will bring damage. I mean, this man has said that he doesn't care if he takes away black votes from Joe Biden, which would result in Trump winning the presidency. He's been saying all types of crazy stuff. So get control of your man legally, because Kim's going to school to be a lawyer. Get control of your man legally and shut this thing down, Kim. Don't be sitting crying in no car. She's sitting crying in some car like she breaking up with Chris Humphries again. This ain't the time to do that. You gotta be a strong woman. You married a black man, try to be a strong black woman, which you try to change your skin tone to be. And do what you need to do, get some guardianship and shut this thing down.
I hear you, but I don't know if it's really on Kim to do that.
I feel like it's not directly on her, but as a wife,
she could help, but
she can help. Yeah,
I think that with the guardianship, it can fix a lot of things.
No, I definitely agree with that.
But he's not mentally unstable to the point where he can't make conscious decisions. I think that's the hard. Like that's like you can't. Sure? I think you have to be a level of incompetent where to seek that type of guardianship.
I feel like you got to be like getting up at 2 a.m. walking out the house and don't nobody see you for like 3 days.
Right. Maybe not guardianship, but they could get like a for lack of a better term, we can get him a nanny, like somebody to take care of, making sure he takes his medication, make sure he's like, you know, not endangering himself, you know, someone that's not necessarily watching him 24/7, but has more of a hands-on approach and like managing that.
But I think that guardianship, because he's shown that he's prone to just very negative thoughts, especially talking about, and I know that the full context is that he wanted to get Kim an abortion for the first baby, and that's what was done to him. But you know, just the way that he's saying it, the way that he is right now in public is just insane, and nobody can bring the reins in on him. I think that that's when you have to take some type of legal stand and move in and do guardianship, because he's in the state that he's in right now. He cannot make good decisions by himself because he's not taking his medication. He's not doing what he's supposed to do. He's probably not seeing a therapist right now, which he's probably supposed to be doing. You know, somebody needs to step in legally and take control of the situation, because I'm not jumping in and changing from being a Democrat to being a part of the birthday party. Now that's a sign of mania. I don't know if that's
is that what it's called?
Mania. Yeah, he called.
That's what he said. He's starting the political party that he's starting is going to be called. I mean, but at the end of the day, at the same time, no one was really taking Kanye's political campaign seriously. At least I would hope not. But then again, they took Trump's campaign seriously, and look at where we are now. So who really knows?
He has 2% of the vote. Already.
Moving on, y'all. Nicki Minaj announced her pregnancy.
Congratulations to her.
I'll say blew my mind for one, because she announced it, and that woman is a smooth 6, 7, 7.5 months, maybe 8. This woman is pulling up. She beginning of the third trimester at least.
Yeah, she has been quiet for a while, so like people like thought something was up, like maybe a new album or something like that. But yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Good for her though. I don't know how she did that video with 6ix9ine, but good for her. But then when I think about it, a lot of the shots were either, for lack of a better phrase, boob up or like butt down. Like it wasn't a lot of just full front shots. It was like that.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh. It's with her husband?
I'd assume so. Yeah.
Great.
That's the only thing that makes sense, right?
I mean, yeah, but I was just, hoping it would be like plot twist. It's
that
somebody
man.
else. Ooh, good. Just saying. What do you think, Matt?
I mean, the main reason I was happy for her is because that's why she said she was quote unquote retiring. Even though she's still been putting out songs, but that's neither here nor there. That she wanted a family. So she went after what she wanted, and she got it. So that's the main reason why when I heard the announcement that I was like, mainly happy. But just come out and say you're not retired anymore, because that's like me saying I'm retired and still going to work, just because.
I just love the internet memes about her pregnancy. They're like, well, where is she carrying the baby? And they're showing a fetus in her butt. Even though it's fake, but I hope that she's happy having an alleged, well, it's not alleged, she was charged, a molester's child. God bless her and all the luck to her, and I hope that she's happy. Just make sure that you watch your child and don't leave your husband with the baby.
You are
Lord,
sir.
Just saying.
Mercy.
Just saying.
Did we talk about Meg getting shot already?
Yeah, we talked about that last episode.
All right. So as a lot of people know, Meg got shot. It was a whole thing. A lot of people on the internet were making jokes about it. She then goes on live the other day, basically like, yo, this isn't funny. Like, I was really shot. Like, luckily, they ain't hit no bones. She was like, I'm not really trying to protect nobody, but I had to, I got shot. Like, it's not something you just bounce back from and look up on you on IG Live. Like, I had to get my mental in order, yada, yada, yada. But then for some reason, Drea on a podcast, if you don't know who Drea is, she's essentially another, Instagram famous person. She kind of was on the show.
She was on Basketball Wives.
There we go. I knew she was on one of the reality TV shows that I don't watch. But she's really popping on Instagram, whatever. She was on this podcast and she made a joke basically saying yo, I wish somebody loved me so much, because at the time, we still don't know, but the theory they were saying was that her and Tory Lanez were in an entanglement, and she went it out and said entanglement. He shot her in the foot. That was the theory that she was going off of for this joke. And so Drea said, I wish somebody loved me enough that if I said I'm out, they shoot me in the foot. And the internet dragged Drea for it. Allegedly, she lost her Fenty Beauty sponsorship and partnership with them.
Oh, Drea.
Because people wasn't here for it.
Meg.
No. Drea lost her Fenty Beauty partnership, sponsorship. I don't know what the proper phrase is.
No, you're right. Well, that makes sense though, because Rihanna's product of domestic violence.
Rihanna,
so I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't imagine her being like, that's cool. I just feel like there's just some things I will say, while there's something for social media and people probably just take things too sensitively, I don't think that this is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't think that this is something where people are just being too sensitive. No, that's not funny. It's not funny.
I was shot.
It's not. Right, exactly. If somebody was actually shot, somebody actually got hurt, she could have been killed, heaven forbid. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Even if this was 3 years later and she said this, I still don't think it would be funny. It's just not something you joke about, honestly. Violence in general isn't something you joke about. And then in the same token, I feel like it kind of sets Black people back, because it's oh, they think it's a joke. You know what I mean? It just paints a really negative image, and it could also give people of other races who are maybe against us or just already feel like I'm Black kind, just gives them more ammo.
Yeah.
Where I know, Aaron, how you feel about that.
Wow, pun intended.
How it gives them more ammo to say that type of I'm gonna use Darnell's favorite word, rhetoric.
That is Darnell's favorite word. So
yeah. I mean, I just feel like Drea has always put her foot in her mouth. Even when she was on the show, she was always in some messy situation. But yeah, just like you guys said, any type of violence, whether it's man on man, woman on woman, domestic violence type of situations, like it's not something you joke about, especially when it escalates to like a shooting. Because like Meg is really like rising in her career right now. God forbid that could have been the end of her career if she could never walk again. You know,
Right.
like so it's really not something that I just feel like joking about it, especially in the way that she did. Like, oh, I wish somebody loved me that much. I wish that would happen to me. It's just like distasteful. And it's very like I don't know. It's just like what was going through your head? Like, why would you think that would be a good joke that you could make, and you thought people would respond well to it?
Right.
Yeah.
The really crazy thing about the Meg situation is that after everybody already dragged Drea, Just Hilarious then decided to drop her basically a parody video of what she thought happened too, and everybody was like, did you not read the room here, ma'am? Like this is not what we're doing.
Right.
It's very interesting. Very, very.
She even had added a disclaimer. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Who added a disclaimer?
Jess. She added a disclaimer like, this is just a joke. This is not intended. Like, adding a disclaimer doesn't mean that
right. It doesn't make it any better.
Right.
It's like when somebody say no disrespect and they say something wild.
Right. It's just like she was trying to slap a Band-Aid on it because she knew people would get mad. But at the end of the day, it didn't work.
Darnell says protect the black women. Also, if you're wondering, Darnell's Wi-Fi, he texted me, said his Wi-Fi just went out. So he's going to hop back in when his Wi-Fi comes back, I guess. So, excuse me, moving on, Representative Alexandria Ocasio, AOC, she was called some wild names from a fellow, representative, Ted Yoho, representative from Florida. He was saying some wild stuff to a coworker of theirs, and then in front of the press, he then says to that coworker, "She's a effing B." Basically in front of the press, everybody heard it. It was all over the place. And then she even addressed it. What's what I'm looking for? On the House floor, if that's the phrase I'm looking for. And it was really wild. Like it was really wild that she always seems to be coming under some pressure from her fellow congressmen and women. I'm a fan of her. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know every policy that she's voted on and all the stuff that she tried to push. Cause I ain't gonna sit here and lie to y'all because I don't. But like her overall vibe, I really rock with. I've seen a lot of the stuff that she has stood for. And I really think that was wild. And it really goes to show you that even our congressmen and women will still say some wild stuff. And these are the people who's supposed to be making the rules, making the laws, voting on laws, and all this, that, and the third.
On the House floor.
And they basically still got sexists and racists up in there as well, which is wild to me.
Yeah, no, I just feel like, first of all, it's kind of like bold to be like, I'm going to say this and hope no one hears me. What? Like, you got a microphone in front of your face, sir. Yeah. I'm confused how you thought that was okay and that it was just going to get brushed under the rug. I just feel like it's like, even if you don't agree with her standpoint or her views, I just don't understand why she's labeled a B. Like why be labeled that when she's just standing up for what she feels like is right and what she believes in? But she doesn't call him a derogatory name because he stands up for what he believes in and what he feels is right. And that's the bizarre thing to me, is that like she has to be labeled that because she's assertive. I'm confused. Like you all know, like nobody has the same views and the same mindset. That's why it's a democracy, right? Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I use that in the right way.
You made it. You did
I'm pretty sure I thought that was correct. Thanks. But yeah, so like, welcome back. Yeah, so it upsets me, the fact that she just is being attacked for basically having her own viewpoint and opinion, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. I actually watched her whole response video that she did on the House floor when she was speaking on the situation, and she was basically said she wasn't only called an F&B. He was trying to imply that she was like out of her mind, like everything like that, a threat to democracy, like Darnell mentioned earlier. She said that he was trying to imply in other conversations that she doesn't belong in this country, belong in the House of Representatives.
Yeah.
So it's stuff that she gets like a lot, and I think it mainly comes down to not only is she a woman, but she's very young. Like she's around like our age, and everything like that. So I feel like people just try to discredit her on those couple of things. But the main thing that stuck out to me was that she doesn't want an apology from Representative Yoho. She doesn't think that, not only does she not want it, she doesn't think it would be genuine if he did give her one. But the main people he should apologize to is he's a man with daughters. He's a girl dad. And apologize to not even just like the women he represents and everything like that, but she was just like, it's very sad, like just the Aaron mentioned earlier, that in the House of Representatives we can't be professional and respect each other because of whatever preconceived notions you already have about a certain type of people, gender, whatever. That was her main point. It was actually a very well-spoken video. I often watch her videos when I see them posted because she is very well-spoken. She's very well-educated. And I don't know, I really like her. I'm glad we have someone of a younger generation and different background in the House of Representatives, because she represents New York, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, she represents New York, which is a bigger what am I trying to say? It's a bigger it's bigger in the electoral college, like more votes and like everything like that is what I was trying to say. So it's good we have that type of representation in that type of a state where we can get bigger things done, maybe because of someone like that in the House.
I think that the incident they were on the steps of the Capitol Hill, which I would think that out of respect and reverence for such a hollow place in our democracy, Representative Yoho wouldn't dare say something like that to one of his colleagues. But it goes to show the divisive times that we're in. I think that Trump has okayed and allowed a lot of behavior that should not be allowed and be okay. And this is one of the people who have become emboldened because of the rhetoric coming from the top. And it's just so unfortunate that you have to resort to that type of dialogue. And Alexandria, she has been a punching bag for the right for some time now, because she was the author of the Green New Deal. She aligns her views with Bernie Sanders. And so that's why the right sees her as a threat. But at the same time, no matter your political difference, when you come to a place like that, you're there to set aside the differences, meet at some place in the middle, so that we can move forward as a country. And I don't think that man knows what time it is, because we are in a moment where we are in a revolution as far as racial divides are concerned. We are still in a very much so Me Too times up era. And for him to think that uttering the words, she's this crazy bitch, I don't get where he gets off with that. And then in his apology, he says, I'm a father, I'm a husband, I respect my wife, I respect my daughters. No, you don't, because you didn't do it to her. And I applaud her for her strength, for her steadfastness. She says that this didn't faze me, because what I did before, I was a bartender, I was a waitress. I've had to deal with these people all my life. I had to fight, and I ain't tired yet. So my prayers and my hopes are to her. I pray that she keeps on doing a good job up at Capitol Hill. And thankfully, Yoho, he's not even running for another term. So he's out. So I'm tired of him. He gone. He tired.
Two things I thought were really interesting. Oh, sorry, Matt.
No,
What?
I was just gonna say real quick. Another one of my first thoughts was that it had to be a Florida man. They acting out.
Yeah. Two things I thought. One, Camille said that how he talked about a woman like that, and immediately made me think of how this goes back to basically the patriarchy that's unfortunately in our society. Of that is because she's so assertive and isn't afraid to speak her mind and is a great leader. A lot of people look at her as a B. But if it was a guy, they'd be like, "Oh, he's just a great leader. He's ambitious. He's this, that, and the third." But when you're a woman, you're sassy or bossy. In that case, you're a B. And then two, Darnell, when you said, I don't know where he thinks he is or what time he is, I was like, well, he said that it's because he's from Florida's 3rd district, which is Gainesville, which is that type of area that would say some wild mess like that. So I'm happy to hear that he's not running again, but also I'm not surprised that he got elected in the first place after realizing where he was.
Exactly.
That's why y'all gotta vote. Get these people out.
Mike Tyson making a comeback, y'all.
Oh,
he is scheduled to fight against Roy Jones Jr. Now,
don't fight nobody.
A quick aside, for some reason, Nate Robinson, a former basketball player who's like 5'11", maybe 6 feet, is fighting Jake Paul, who's a YouTube star. I don't really know why they're also on this card as well, but whatever. Mike Tyson is returning to the ring against Roy Jones Jr. Mike Tyson is like 51, 52, 53. He's in his 50s. Roy is also in his 50s. And I haven't really seen that many videos of Roy practicing, but I've seen videos of Mike practicing. And Mike looked like he might kill a boxer that's in his prime right now. Like, Mike looks scary right now.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, he's like, but how old is he though?
I'm gonna tell you right now. He old.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. I'm gonna guess 54. I was gonna say 56.
54.
But he looked good. He looked good. I ain't gonna.
It looks like he hasn't aged at all.
Yeah, I mean he looks good, but I don't know. I just get concerned.
I see two old black guys in the boxing ring.
Like, it's just gonna be like one of those. I'm gonna dance around the ring and act like I'm gonna hope you get tired, so I don't have to really knock you out because I'm 54.
I mean, Roy is 51. They both old.
They both need to sit down, face and chest, and checkers, golf.
I'm gonna tune in.
About to be two uncles just trying to knock each other out. Well, I don't know. This I think it was really. I think it's gonna be a way to introduce Mike Tyson maybe to a new generation. You know, after they see this, maybe don't know so much about him. Besides, obviously, I feel like everyone has heard about the biting the ear thing. Like that's just something. That's something that everybody knows about. So this is maybe like you'll go back and maybe see some of his older fights. If you want to, you just want to, just learn something new about a new athlete that is a legend in his field. That you maybe not know so much about. And both fighters, respectively, honestly, are very big names in the boxing world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just think it's a cool opportunity for that to happen.
I just have one comment to make. First of all, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about watching geriatric boxing, but I guess we all gotta try something new.
Not geriatric.
I mean, this is 2020. Stuff is just weird. So I think this is gonna be lumped into some of that weird stuff. But I also hope that they get Mike Tyson a specialized muzzle, because I really don't want to see no ear biting. I really don't. I really don't. That's just nasty. Why would he think to do something like that? Huh?
He put it behind.
I thought he rose above that. Yeah.
He's risen past that.
It's above me now.
We'll see. We'll see about it, because I hope just make sure you don't get hugged by him, because that's when he does it. When y'all hugging.
That's his finisher.
He went low, but now he's going high.
Yeah, he went for the earlobe. Now he's gonna get on that top cartilage. That's from the low to high.
I hate you. But speaking of fighting, WWE wrestler Adam Cole had a wild meltdown in an interview recently, and then he put out a statement apologizing. about the breakdown of Wildin' Out. Honestly, I don't know if I believe the whole thing because of the nature of wrestling.
Yeah,
I don't believe if he really was really wilding out, or is this a part of some sort of promo for something else? Which, because I feel like it's been times before in the past when wrestlers have gone on like a show or something and have wild out, and then they come to find out it's just a setup for like a pay-per-view that's gonna happen in like 2 months. But I ain't really mad at it if that's the case, because that's the nature of the beast when it comes to wrestling.
Yeah, it was it was a little odd. I was like confused when I watched it. I was like I get why you're mad, but then I don't. Like, I feel like I would have just came back with like a sassy little comeback, and then like off camera been like, bro, like that was messed up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If you were really that offended. But like, I don't know. I just felt like there was a little extra for me. It was a lot. Knock down the mic. Like, what do you do? Stop picking on me. Knock it over. Like, I don't know.
It was definitely a lot. The only reason why I thought it may have been maybe like a little more real than we might have think is because, like you said in the statement, I don't know if you said this exactly in the statement, but WWE is a PG company now, and just the type of language, yeah, they're PGing.
That's
so just the type of language that he used, like he was saying the F word. Yeah. Wow. Like the TV rating, like he was saying like the F word, the S word, and really like I am a fan of wrestling. I'm a fan of Adam Cole, and I don't think I ever heard him say anything worse than like damn. So I was like, when I saw all that, I was like, wait, hold on. So that's the reason why I thought it was maybe a little bit of real emotion that could have been behind it, because Pat McAfee, he definitely was like poking the bear, like with his little comments and everything. I probably would have got a little upset too. But trying to still, I feel like we're just trying to discredit his accomplishments, because he is one of the longest reigning champions in the business right now. Well, he just recently lost the title, but he was at the time one of the longest reigning. So I just feel like if you're going to try to discredit my accomplishments and just take little digs of like, oh, like you're short, like stuff like that, I might have wanted to knock a mic down too, and go off a little bit. But yeah, that's the only reasons why I thought it might have been a little bit of real emotions. But definitely, like Aaron, like you said, I could see it being a promo for something, because there are bigger pay-per-views coming up soon, like towards the end of the year. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
I ain't got too much of an opinion about this. I think WWE is a very interesting organization, and I find it very interesting that now they're trying to Disneyfy themselves and become PG.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, they've been PG for a while, actually. They've been PG for a while now. Pretty much after the whole like Attitude Era, after like Stone Cold and them like left, like when The Rock was gone. They went PG around that time. So like when John Cena was like the face of the company, pretty much, yeah. Like when John Cena was like the face of the company, and like who else? Like Rey Mysterio. Well, Rey Mysterio has been around a while, but like those guys like that.
Time, yeah. So like,
why do they say like flubber nuggets instead of saying the F word?
Hello.
Like,
hello, ma'am. No.
I'm just saying.
I
just say I'm gonna beat you up.
But also I think that one thing that we have to, not to get back on the mental health topic, but wrestlers have been known to like either commit suicide or die by drug overdose. So it's just, you gotta watch when people are lashing out like that, because it might be signs of something else.
But isn't WWE the F word?
It's scripted, but the fighting is real.
They still get a lot of head injuries.
Like
what Matt said is very true. They go into it usually knowing who's going to win, but all the stuff in between, they real athletes.
Right. There's really not really a way for me to throw you through a table. But like,
if I pick you up and throw you on the ground, you hitting that ground like that. I mean, yeah. So it is some
still get head injuries.
Like the outcome, outcomes are like predicted, and like they do like choreograph the fights and everything like that. It had the storylines and everything. But at the end of the day, like they're still diving off the top rope, so like hitting each other in the face, like.
Also, fun fact: our president has been on WWE and has wrestled Vince McMahon.
Donald Trump's actually in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Moving on real quick to a couple more things before we get up out of here. Seattle has a hockey team now. I feel like none of us actually watch hockey.
I do a little bit.
I've become more of a hockey fan in quarantine. I really have, because just
the Flyers.
Just missing sports has made me like clinch on to any action that was coming on TV. And honestly, I was excited about the Seattle team. Like their name is cool, the colors and stuff are cool. I might be a fan. I'm a Flyers fan too.
Wait. Are they gonna say "release the Kraken" whenever the thing comes out?
That's their slogan.
Really? I can't.
I like the fights on
Seattle because I feel like we ain't got anything else from there. But what's really exciting, Netflix just announced that they're adding some black gold to their catalog. Moesha's coming back. The game, only seasons 1 through 3, but that's what matters because that's the only 2 seasons that are good.
Thank you.
Right?
Sister, Girlfriends, The Parkers, Half and Half, 101.
Yeah.
Are coming to Netflix between August 1st and October 15th.
That's a solid lineup.
Oh, exciting.
I'm excited. I ain't gonna hold you. The show I'm most excited for, probably Girlfriends and 101.
Yeah.
Are the shows I'm most excited for.
I don't think I ever watched 101. I don't think I ever watched 101.
Oh, I loved 101.
101 was good.
I'm definitely excited for Girlfriends, Sister. I might actually watch the game because I think I watched season 1, but I didn't keep up with it after that. I don't think
it's good.
The game,
it's good. But like Aaron said, 1 through 3 is really all that matters.
Yeah, that's why it's good. They only put 1 through 3. Well, I think CW originally, and I think 1 through 3 was made over there, and then BET bought the rights to it, and then continued it, and then it got real trash.
It did. Once like Derwin left and once Tia left,
don't be telling him what's going on. He only seen episode 1.
I already knew that part. I remember people said they didn't like it because a lot of the original characters left, like in the yeah. I knew that part. You didn't spoil anything.
Okay.
I appreciate that Netflix knows what time it is, and the time is black, and I'm loving it. It's melanated. I'm here for it. I also think one thing I want to say is that when it comes to the game, season 1 through 3, it seemed like, somebody like Lee Daniels was writing it, was good script. But then after that, seasons 4 and on, I think Tyler Perry got in that writer's room and messed it up. And that's all.
Yeah, you're about to say that, and I just want to defend Tyler real quick because some tweets have been going viral. We make fun of Tyler now, but Tyler was in his bag when he was writing them plays. Them plays the jokes are still funny on them plays. The storylines are still good on them plays.
Mm-hmm.
He just kind of a little bit when it came to the movies. I just wanted to get
Let
that.
me tell you, I have all the good DVDs from his.
He went to go get it.
Right, he showed his receipts,
and these are just 2 of them. But I got Meet the Browns. I got all of them. And
it was just the same Joe's in my grandma's house right now.
I just think that Tyler. He needs to get a writing room because like the last couple of movies, I'm just like,
that costs too much. Because we still gonna see his movie, so he's still gonna get paid with or without writing room. We still gonna see his movie.
I'm tired of the trash scripts.
Fall from Grace was trash, but guess what? We all saw it.
It wasn't that it was trash.
Camille.
I never saw it.
I wish he paid attention to the people in the background.
Man, Fall from Grace is garbage.
I don't think I ever saw that one.
That get better wigs.
The wigs. I wish the wigs were better.
The best wig is Tyler Perry's wig.
Tyler Perry be getting $10 wigs from the beauty supply store.
But then his own wig is $10,000. It don't make no sense.
Right.
Did you guys see Confessions of a Marriage Counselor?
No, what's that?
That's another Tyler Perry one. That's not that good. Yeah, it's a movie. It comes on BET. Sometimes not regularly, but it's not that good.
Is that with Journey Smollett or whatever her name is?
I don't know. I've only seen it like one time, and I was like, "What am I watching?" But yeah, that's it. He definitely. I feel like he's very hit or miss with his movies. Like, so it'll either be really good or really cringeworthy.
The last one was the last good one, I think, especially out like the Medea franchise, was I Can Do Bad by Myself with Taraji P. Henson, because
That
that
was
like
a good
it had
one.
good music, it had great actors,
Aaron.
That was
you
good.
know. But after that, it just seemed like Boo Medea. I'm like, boo, Tyler Perry, like boo, no,
You gotta make that. You gotta add that to the light list of like.
Medea
I was
Christmas.
Yeah.
never
I was like, what
expecting
the
that to
heck?
be like
A cinematic.
something
The
amazing. Like it's kind
storyline.
of like a funny.
Medea, you're
Wow.
late. Why are you so late?
I
I just
promise I let her know.
like shows. As a child, I loved Girlfriends. Because my mom used to watch it a lot. I don't really know if I loved it because the plot was great or it was just a lot of beautiful black women on that show. So I'm gonna rewatch
Maybe.
and then I'll let you know if I actually like
They
the
need
show.
a movie. They
It
need a
was a good
movie.
show. They
They
need
Girlfriends
to
did
do
make
needs
a
a
the
movie.
final
movie.
episode. They need to do the final episode because nobody
It
knows
just
what
stops.
happened. It
They wrote
ended.
it. They wrote it. The creator of
It
the
just
show,
ended.
she's wrote a final episode and she also wrote a movie. And she's just waiting for Hollywood to get their stuff together and realize what time it is. The time is melanation. Give us a Girlfriends movie, Hollywood. That's what we want.
That was like 20 years
I
ago.
didn't say it needed a movie, but
Yeah.
I'm saying that I
I
just want
want
to know
the
what
movie.
happened.
Camille just wants an ending
That's
to the
all.
show. He
Yeah,
told
that's
me,
it.
Right.
I just,
Hey,
I
if they're
just want
saying
a
if they're
finale.
saying the show
Hour, like-
doesn't have an ending, I will be really upset because I hate shows that just end like that.
yeah.
I mean, if Nikki Parker has a good ending and married Professor Ogilvy and had twins with the man, then Girlfriends deserves a good ending.
I
Well,
love the Parkers.
moving on to our last topic of the day. So laws have been put in place to ban the Confederate flag on military installations. I want to make that sure that's out there. And those same laws include pretty much any flag that's not an American flag or a territory of America or a state or another military branch's flag. And so that includes like flags like Black Lives Matter stuff and pride flags. And I ain't gonna hold y'all, I'm not mad at this law. I feel like some people are. The article that I read about it made it seem like it was a bad thing, but on me it kind of made sense because it's on military installations, and the only thing that should be on in a military installation is other military stuff. But that's just my opinion. Made
Yeah,
sense.
no, I mean, right. No, I mean, I agree. I think that if I wouldn't agree if they had like been like, we can keep this flag, but not this flag,
Yeah.
in a sense of like, let's keep the Confederate flag and not like pride flag. Like then that's like, okay, now you're just trying to start stuff. But like at least they're spreading it around, saying no flag, period. So I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it.
It's all good, Miss Angelique. We just messing with you.
After you guys just made your points, I kind of like switched my opinion. I was like, I was gonna say like, if people are fighting for our country, why wouldn't they be able to express their beliefs? But also, those beliefs that might want to be expressed could be their Confederate flag, which is obviously a bad thing. So hey, if we're gonna knock one thing out, let's just make it an even playing field and just make it this,
Right.
this, and this, so that nobody feels left out or discriminated against. Or that makes sense. So yeah, you kind of made me think about it a little more.
My thing is that the Confederate flag is a sign of oppression, a sign of slavery, and it's a sign of those who are dissenters against our democracy. They were people who represent that flag are considered traitors, and so I don't think that they're it's equivalent to the pride flag or Black Lives Matter. And I feel sad for a lot of our military personnel because I know some people who are in the military and they wanted to go to Black Lives Matter protests. They want to represent and stand on the right side of history, but they're barred from doing so. And so I do think that, in this moment where we're trying to reassess some things, I don't think that those flags equate to the Confederate flag. More so over, I think that, we need to look at some of the names of these bases. If they're going to be banning the Confederate flag, then why aren't they banning Confederate names? You know?
That's a good point.
I hear you, but I ain't going to hold you. I have to disagree with you because the thing isn't that this thing was just built. This act is saying that there's just no flags. If it's not a state government flag, there's just no flags. It's not attacking the LGBTQ flags. It's not attacking
I'm not
the
saying
BL
it's attacking.
flag. And I don't think it's equating them either. You can't fly I love McDonald's flag on the military. It's just you can't fly a flag. It reminds me of what a lot of places of employment, even mine, you can't, like with masks, you can't have a mask with any design. We don't care what it says. We don't care if it's pink, purple. It's either a solid black mask or it's a mask with our company logo, which makes perfect sense to me. So you get white, black, or company.
It's a uniform.
It's a uniform. There we go. And at a place of employment, you wear your uniform because the military at the end of the day is the job that you signed up for willingly. Ain't no draft out here. You sign up or you don't. And you got to comply with your job's uniform. When I worked at McDonald's, my shirt had to be tucked in. I had to wear my little blue shirt and my hat because it was my uniform. If I didn't want to wear that, I could find a new job.
I think that when it comes to the military, I think, you know, even with this flag discussion, I think it's a little bit stupid with everything else that's going on. You know, even within the military with the LGBTQ community and trans rights, you know, that's been under attack a lot recently with what the president has been saying. And so I think that instead of just focusing on these flags, you know, great about the flag thing, whatever, but there are other pressing matters within the military, within, you know, VA benefits that need to be discussed and need to be handled, because a lot of the people who are Black, who are a part of the LGBTQ community, are not treated right within the military. And so I think that those are things that really need to be tackled rather than a stupid flag.
I actually had a roommate that had a Confederate flag in his room. I'm not going to put his name out there because I don't know who's watching. And
if you didn't want to talk about it, why you put it in the docket?
I didn't put this in the docket.
Oh, all right. Just checking.
This wasn't my thing.
But what I was saying was my roommate, you know, one of the nicest guys in the world, still my good friend. Actually reached out to me with all the protests and everything like that, Black Lives Matter. But his point, he was the one in the camp that talked about like Southern pride and everything like that, even though he's from New Jersey. So I don't know why you have Southern pride, but it's fine. But yeah, if it's your room, it doesn't matter how I feel about what you have on your walls. You know, I could have said all day, I don't agree with this, whatever, but I can't make you take it down because this is your space. But that's why, you know, my point was, like Aaron said, it is a place of employment, whether it's the military or whatever. So you have to comply with these things. They want to probably keep it as, especially in these times, as depoliticized as possible. So, again, on second thought, what Aaron and Camille said makes sense to me.
But I think it's impossible.
Go ahead.
I think it's impossible to depoliticize anything when our president used armed forces to break up peaceful protesting. You know, I don't think that we're at a state where anything can be depoliticized. Everything is political. When you walk outside,
but you can try.
Don't want to wear a mask.
But but taking down, having just military flags and the American flag, to me it's like like Aaron said, an even playing field as far as just.
To me, it's not that deep. Maybe
It's not. I mean, to me,
it's not deep.
Yeah, to me, it's not that deep either. It's not like they're saying we hate gays and we hate Black people and yay Confederacy.
I mean, they have in the past.
Like, I mean, but I'm saying this action or this move does not mean that they're against all of these things. It has nothing to do with just being against with all of them. It has just like a job, just wanting to remain.
Yeah, which is wild to me because it would have made sense that the military would have already had this. I don't know why this is news. I feel like it only should have been able to do American and military stuff on military installations in the first place. But that's just me.
It's surprising that part isn't that. I mean, they're strict about a lot of other things. Shoot, but that would, I don't know. On the docket, I would think that'd be number one that they deal with. It'll be already have been a rule by now, I guess.
All right. So with our intro, we're probably at about 50. I'm gonna skip this last discussion topic. We're gonna throw it on next week. Because it's kind of just so we can throw it in, whatever. It's not necessarily topical for the week. So I'm opening it up.
I had my answer ready.
Well, write it down. We'll do it next week. We'll put it at the top of the list for next week. So we'll make sure we get to it. Final thoughts. Mine, I do have one. What did I think? Completely unrelated to anything we spoke on, but NBA season officially comes back tomorrow. They play real good. They've been playing a couple of games, but they play games tomorrow, and I'm like, that's my fault.
You're gonna say
from the bubble.
You're gonna say we're expecting.
Why you be thinking that?
I don't know.
Go ahead, Camille. What's your thoughts?
I don't really have anything.
Hate you.
That's about it.
That's it.
Matthew.
Well, yeah, just like everything we talked about, mental health is important. Make sure you're taking care of yours. Make sure you're staying safe and still washing your hands, everything like that. COVID is not gone in the state of New Jersey. We've seen a lot of new positive cases in the past couple of days. I was reading Governor Murphy's tweets earlier. We can't afford to go backwards if we want any chance of normalcy anytime soon. So just still making sure you're taking everything seriously and staying safe.
My final thoughts is that, again, continue to engage our democracy. Don't stop this dialogue that we've started. Let's push for us going into a path that is right and just for everyone. And like Matt said, let's continue to keep our mental health in check. I think that there are free resources for Black people right now that you can go to a therapist, talk to them, telecommunicate, and get your mental health right, because that's also important. And let's continue to love each other and be good, do good, make good trouble.
All right, y'all. We out of here. Peace.
Have a good week.